See, I'm wearing this extraordinarily bright blue lipstick and I really like it, so it's very fun. Today I'm going to be doing my video on green ramp in EDH pretty much. Part 2. I've already done part 1, which I will list in the description bar below if you want to check that out. So if I don't mention your favorite card, I've either mentioned it in that video or I'm going to be doing these in parts. So I only talk about 10 cards so I don't talk forever. And I'm going to be doing parts 3 and 4 and etc. in the future. So let's get into green ramp. Green's probably my favorite EDH color, because I love ramping so much and it's great. So let's talk. The first card is Wood Elves. I love Wood Elves. I really like, this actually isn't my favorite art, though I do really like this art. My favorite art is the alternate art by Rebecca Guai from, I don't even know what that set is from, but anyways, this art is like really pretty. Rebecca Guai is one of like my favorite artists, but she comes into play, you search your library for a forest, and you put it onto the battlefield, which is really sweet. It doesn't say basic forest, so you can get any of like your shocklands or any of like your fancy dual lands that do say forest on it, which is really cool. It comes into play, doesn't come in tapped, which is really sweet, and it's 3 mana for a 1/1, so it's really good. Synergizes really well with Skull Clamp. I love cards like this because I can always synergize them with Skull Clamp, so card's really sweet. Okay, then I have Yavimaya Granger. I really love this card. When I was looking at cards for Tasigur and like I wanted some more mana ramp, this was one of the cards on my list and that card remains in my deck and I absolutely love it. It's got that echo cost, which some people are like, oh, but I really need that creature. You can totally pay for the echo cost if you need it to, but the main thing is getting creatures in your graveyard. So if you're doing any sort of graveyard synergy where you want cards in your graveyard, but you also want a mana dork, this is the card for you. It's also 3 mana for a 2/2, which is really sweet. You do get a basic land and it does come into play tapped, but it's got that echo cost, which makes this card really strong. Then I have Yavimaya Dyrad. I really love this card. This card, by the way, is beautiful in foil. I have a foil of it and it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. So it's 3 mana for a 2/1. Again, Skull Clamp, really dig that. I'm a really huge fan of Skull Clamp. It's one of my favorite cards. It's got Forest Walk. It comes into play, you get a forest, you put it onto the battlefield tapped, under target player's control. So say like you need your opponent to have a forest for whatever reason, you can actually put that forest onto the battlefield for them. So they get a forest, so you've got Forest Walk with this creature and potentially other creatures, or say you need that for things like, what is that card? Forbidden Orchid or something like that, where you add that to the battlefield of that card. Or I don't know, say whatever reason you just need your opponent to have a forest. I don't know why, but say you do. Yeah, card's really good. Or if you just need some mana acceleration, card's good. Cedar Wayfinder. I feel like very unpopular in the boat of people who actually like this card. People have tried to tell me to cut it from Tasigur so many times and I just can't bear to part with this card because again, synergizes with Skull Clamp, gets cards in my graveyard. Again, this and like Yavimaya Granger are like your top 2 cards for like mana acceleration that you want in any sort of graveyard synergy. ATBs, you look at the top 4, you can put a land into your hand, and you put the rest into your graveyard. It's very simple, but it's a really good card. Okay, then I have Oracle of Mul Daya, and if you have a little bit of extra money to spend, Oracle's a really fantastic magic card. You can play an additional land on each of your turns, you play with the top card of your library revealed, and you can play that card if it's a land. So it doesn't come into play tapped, which is really good. So I think ideally, like basically every green deck is pretty much going to want to run this card. I understand that not everyone can because it's a very expensive card, but the card is really strong. Okay, then we have Karametra's Alkylate. I absolutely love this card. I have it in Gisan and it's like one of my top 4 drops in my entire deck. So it's 4 mana and then it's a 1/4, which, you know, it's got a really nice body. You add a number of forests equal to your devotion to green, so it's really stupid. This with, I have in there also Seeker of Skybreak, which is you untap target creature, so you tap it and then you untap this, and then you just add like a ton of mana into your pool. It's really, really good. I'm a huge, huge fan of this card. It's a really fantastic mana acceleration if you have a ton of green symbols. Then we have Ranger's Path. I really like this card in like all like mono green decks. What's the card that's the same thing? Explosive Vegetation. That's what like my friends and I always say, exploding vegetables. Explosive Vegetation's kind of better, but I think that card's like $1, and if you want like a card that's like Sense that kind of does the same thing but it's a little bit slower, Ranger's Path is a really good option. Card's good. Then I have Dawntreader Elk. This card isn't really the best mana acceleration, but it is pretty okay. Or if you're playing a deck like Yisan and you want to have, you know, cards at each sort of mana cost, this card's really fantastic. You sack it and then you search your library for basic lands, you put it on the battlefield tapped. So it's kind of a lot of mana for what it is, I would say, but it's also a 2/2, so it can stick around and block if you need it to. I like just blocking with cards like this and then sacking it in response. I think that's a really sweet option. Yeah, I like this card. Oh, and again, and if you're doing any sort of like graveyard synergies, this is a really good card to have in your graveyard. Then we have Sylvan Scrying. Sylvan Scrying is incredible. It's really fantastic. If you're running any sort of like specialty lands, I would definitely recommend this card. You know, I do this, I get like Temple of False God, you know, you get any of your dual lands, shock lands, like anything that you want, any of your fetch lands, whatever you really need. The card is like very, very essential. And the last card in this video is Peregrination. I really like this card actually. I remember when I discovered this card, I was looking through cards for Omnath for like just ramp, because that deck is just straight up just literally all it does is ramp. It's fantastic. And I was looking at cards and, you know, aside from kind of like the obvious, and I discovered this card. It's kind of a lot of mana for what it is. It's 4 mana. You search your library for up to 2 basic lands, you reveal them, and then put one into the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. So kind of a lot, but you also do get to scry one, which I kind of just like that ability. Again, I feel like it is a lot of mana, but if you're just looking for like cards to fill up slots in your Omnath deck or something like that, you just need mana acceleration, this is a card to look out for. So yeah guys, that was it. That was it for talking about green ramp cards part 2, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.